Since we have right tail test, we need to find the z-score that is equal 1.09. We need to find from the table of z-score the left area, right? Because our z-score table shows the left area. So if you find it, it's gonna be, hold on, the probability, let me clean this. So the probability for z-score less equal 1.09 is equal 0.8621. Okay, 0.8621. Now that's to the left, but the thing is we have tail to the right. So what we have to do, since this is 0.8621, all we have to do, take 1 minus 0.8621, okay, and that will be equal 0.1379. So this area is going to be 0.1379. Okay, so next step, we need to find out if we are going to reject or fail to reject null hypothesis. What we're gonna do? This is our p-value. So p-value is equal 0.1379. So next step, we need to compare this p-value to alpha. We need to compare p-value versus alpha. And what we can say, if the p-value is less than or equal level of significance, so if p-value less or equal alpha, then reject null hypothesis. If the p-value greater than alpha, then fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay? So our p-value is, our p-value is 0.1379. Our alpha is 0.02. So what can we say? 0.13, our p-value is greater than, right? Alpha. Correct? Therefore, what do we say? Fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay. Next one. Question number 13. We have two tails test. Z-score is equal negative 1.81 and alpha is equal 0.05. So we need to find p-value for this hypothesis test with the given standard test statistics, and then find out if we need to reject or fail to reject. So what do we have to do first of all? So because we have a two-tail test, then we need to find out if the test is to the right or to the left from the center. Well, let's figure it out. Our z-score is negative, right? That means that's a given, it's a left one, correct? Equal negative 181. That means the same way, because they are symmetric, always, these tails, this positive z-score also going to be 1.81. Yes? So what we are going to do, we need to find negative z-score that is equal negative 181. Okay? Let's find it. So probability for z critical is less equal negative 1.81 is equal 0.03515. Okay. So because this is for one tail, we got here this one, this tail. Same thing is gonna be our right tail also, right? So we need to take and multiply by each other. If I multiply 2 times this probability, that's gonna be equal 0.03515 times 2. It's gonna be 0.0703. Okay, this is going to be our p value. Okay, now next we need to find out, are we going fail to reject, or we are going to reject our null hypothesis. All right, so let's see, p-value is 0.0703. Our alpha is 0.05. So what do we get? 0.07 versus 0.07 and versus 0.05 is greater than, yes. So p-value is greater than alpha, correct? Therefore, here it is. If it's greater, then we fail to reject. Fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay? Question number 14. Find the p-value for the indicated hypothesis test with the given standardized test statistics. Decide whether we reject the null hypothesis to the given level of significance alpha. So we have two tails. Okay, test statistics, z is equal negative 1.62, alpha is equal 0.05. So first we need to find, because we have two tails, so obviously this one is given for the left tail. And then we multiply by 2 p-value, so to get for two tails. So let's find in the table how much will be negative 1.62. So the probability for z-score less equal negative 1.62 is, you can use it yourself, z-score table, 0.0526. Okay, we need to multiply this number by 2 because we have two tail, yes? All right, we have two tail. So 2 times p is equal 0.0526 times 2. That's going to be equal 0.1052. Okay, if we compare this is our p-value. So if compare p-value versus alpha, we can say that here we have 0.1, here we have 0.05, which means fail to reject, right? Because p-value is greater. If it would be less, then we would reject null hypothesis. Okay. Next one. Let's see what we have here. Find the critical values for the left tail with z-test. Left tail, okay, we have left tail. And alpha equal 0.04. So we need to find critical value. What does that mean? We have left tail, and this area represented by alpha. Okay, we need to find the z critical. This is z critical, which means we are going to our z-score table, 0.04, it will be negative z-score, right? Because it's less than 50. Okay, finding 0.04 in the body and trying to figure out how much will be our z-score, and that will be negative 1.7, here will be 0.05, which means z critical will be equal negative 1.75. Okay, and that will be our answer. Number 16. So right tail, we need to find right tail. I mean, in this case, we are going to deal with the right tail. So what we're gonna do with this? We have right tail. And our alpha is equal 0.1. Okay, let's see. And we need to find critical value, z critical. So it's a right tail, so this is 0.1 alpha. If you need to understand, if you want to understand what means p-value, what means alpha, I highly recommend to watch the video. It's in the file folder on Canvas. So 2.01, I'm sorry, alpha is equal 0.1. Gee, I can't read my own writing. Alpha is equal 0.1. Okay? So, since our table showing only area to the left, what do we have to do? Right away, 1 minus 0.1, we get 0.9. Correct? This will gonna be 0.9 is the one we need to find in the table, on the table, and 0.9 is definitely 90% and greater 50. So we are looking in the positive table. So here, if this is 0.9, so this is gonna get how much? 1.2 here and 0.9 here. So z critical, it's gonna be 1.28, I'm sorry, 1.28. Okay, so next step, what we are going to do, we are going to find out if we are rejecting based on the z critical. We need to find out if we are in the rejection area or we are not. So how we are going to find out. So the rejection area, since we are alpha is equal 0.1, oops, on the right tail, as a right tail, then this area specifically where alpha is located, it's gonna be our rejection area, okay? Where the area where alpha is, and it is limited by this z critical equal 1.28. So our rejection area for the z critical greater than 1.28. If our alpha would be on the left side, then it would be z critical less than our z critical, okay? Because our alpha is right tail, right here, greater than there. Therefore, z critical has to be greater than 1.28, so we would get into rejection area. Okay. And the last one? Well, the last one is too easy. You can do it. All right, I'm done. Thank you for watching. And in a minute, I'm going to also release practicing problems for final exam.